Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures. Today we've got a fun one. 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 ZR2. Of course, the ZR2 comes with a 6.2 liter V8, 420 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. It's been, well, the 1500 Silverado's been slightly updated for everything but the lowest trim, I believe. There might be one other trim in there. But new grille, and of course the ZR2 is different with the tire cutout so you can approach rocks better. This one does have LED fog lights and LED headlights with these additional little marker lights there, and the fog lights do pass the fog light test. You can turn them on with just the running lights. Red tow hooks, of course, because it's an off-roader, but this thing's very well equipped. Of course, it's hard to get a true off-roader for in a base trim anymore. You get a TRD Pro, it comes with a ton of features. Pro 4X and the Nissan, lots of features. You can get some Trail Boss, and I'm trying to think of what else. The Ram Power Wagon, you can get those in the base model. The Trail Boss and the Power Wagon, you can get them in a lower trim, but for the most part, a lot of these off-road packages are upper trims, and that's the case with this ZR2. This one has high clearance steps, and not actually rock rails, but I imagine they could take a little bit of a hit. They feel pretty stout, but on the Monroney it advertises those as high clearance steps. Also has the multi-flex, multi-pro, multi-function, multi-something tailgate, whatever this thing is. And of course you can hit the bottom button, opens the bottom tailgate. So you hit the top button on there, drops down, you got the step, and it has the handle over here as well. I should see if I can turn on the LED bed lights. Oh, this one doesn't have a button. Some of the trucks, other manufacturers will have a button here so you can turn it on from the back. You've got a 120 volt 400 watt outlet right there, and I love Chevy's bed design. So you can see the ZR2 there at the front, but Chevy has pushed the walls of the bed all the way out, giving a lot more space inside the bed. They've done a really good job with that. And I do like the tonneau cover on this one too. The only thing I don't like are these rails, which is common with a lot of these tonneau covers, but this one, the folding hard cover, I do like this one quite a bit. What else we have? So of course on the ZR2 we get special tires. In this case, Goodyear Wrangler Territory MTs. They are 275 70R18s. I'll have to throw the inches up on the screen. I'm going to throw a guess out of 32.5 because that puts me between a 32 and a 33, and I think it's probably right there. Anyway, it has tuned suspension, of course, with Multimatic DSSV shocks, and it looks like 4 leaves with a kind of an overload or heavier load spring there. So a total of 5 leaves on the rear, and then of course the double wishbone independent suspension with the DSSV back here. Let's take a look under the hood. There it is, the familiar 6.2 liter V8. I love this engine. Some people, I guess there's been some lifter issues or something with it recently, but overall I think this has been a really great, reliable engine. I know plenty of people with the 6.2 and they love it, haven't had any issues with it with hundreds of thousands of miles. And this one's paired to a 10-speed automatic, and as I mentioned, well, in the towing video, and I'll talk about it in the driving section as well, but the transmission on this thing is just dialed in. It seems like it does an excellent job. So right here, flow through emblem, lots of open space, and then I believe it has, yes it does, so there's active shutters back there as well. But this thing can suck a lot of air in, which is great when you're towing or off-roading, especially when it gets hot outside. Inside, it's been redesigned and it's very nicely done. There still has some of the old, but for the most part, every trim level has been updated. And with the ZR2, of course, you're getting some bonus features. And we're gonna fire it up. On this side, there we go. On this side, we have the four-wheel drive controls, parking brake, headlights, sorry, drive modes here. Four-wheel drive's up there, drive mode's there. Bottom one's tow haul, and then you have three other modes here. So you have normal, terrain, and off-road. And then right there, the head-up display. And controls for that. These lights are a little bit harder to see, but this one here is the forward-facing lights on the mirrors. That's the bed light or cargo light. And then down here on the bottom is fog lights and your headlights there. They're the steering wheel controls. Behind it you have controls to change the station, paddle shifter to downshift and upshift, and then on this side volume controls. This one controls the menu here, and then cruise control, heated steering wheel, which I believe it's missing the heated steering wheel. It can be added back in later. Credit, not equipped with heated steering wheel. So yeah, it's not installed. They couldn't get the parts for it, but it's most of the way there, I guess. And you can get that retrofitted at the dealer when you need to. I do like this display. So everything here is kind of angled towards the driver, makes this whole truck much more driver oriented. Everything I can reach. This is a little bit far from me for the front locker, but as far as like lane keep assist, which I talk about this in the towing one, I really didn't hate it this time. Normally I don't like the lane keep assist stuff. The driver aids, you're fighting them when they think they know better than you what they should do. You have to fight. In this truck, did not have to do that. It gave me a slight nudge, was trying to push me over, but it was easily overcome, and I was able to just keep driving with minimal effort on my part to overcome the systems. I really, really much prefer it this way. The other thing is having the button close and easy to reach to shut it off. So there should be, I think personally, in every vehicle, there should be a button that's just all driver aids off. And you just hit that, have it within easy reach of the driver, so that when something starts to happen, it's starting to steer, or the adaptive cruise control thinks there's no one in front of you and it's accelerating or keeping a fast speed when it needs to be slowing down or whatever. I know hitting your brakes will cancel out some of that stuff, but anyway, there should just be a button that you can just hit really quick that shuts everything off. And so I do like having this right here close, and this is the only one in this truck. It doesn't have the Super Cruise. Electronic shifter. So you push the button there for park. There's a button here on the side to shift either into reverse or to drive. And then if you give it a little half push, it goes to neutral. And if you're in drive, you can pull it down again to go to the lock. And the lock is, it holds it, where's my gear? Right here, there we go. So it holds it below a certain gear. So it can go up to 4th gear, but not above 4th gear. Up to 3rd gear, but not above. Anyway, so that's what the L does, and then back into park. Just push that again. And I don't know why this thing dings a lot. It's turning into Ford where it just dings. You can ignore it because it's just constantly dinging. Heated seats, cooled seats, or ventilated rather. Trailer brake controllers here, that's a great spot for it. Up here, we'll go across real quick. So lane keep assist, the parking sensors, auto stop start, open the tailgate, flashers, traction control, downhill assist, rear locker, front and rear lockers. Up here for the sunroof, That's to open it all the way. That's just to tilt the back up. This is the rear window, which is powered, obviously. Sounds gritty right now. And yeah, that's about it up there. So it's just a normal size. It's not the whole roof. It's just this front half for the sunroof. Adjustable height seat belts, as most vehicles do have here on the front now, anyway. This one does have the upper and lower glove box. Button there, and pop that one open. 2 USBs here. Your wireless charging is right there. And it's actually a pretty decent spot. You can drop your phone down in there. It's big enough to fit my phone, gets it out of the way, and still within reach. Easy to grab when getting out. There's this big tray, and then a nice deep center console. So the one downside to the layout it has right now is you cannot fit a full sheet of paper in the other way, which is honestly totally fine. Oh my goodness, you can fit it. I just didn't get it to fit before. So you can fit a full sheet, letter size, whatever, 8.5 by 11, either direction in there. And power outlet there, regular plug. And then there are 2 USB ports here, a USB-A and a USB-C. And I think that's it for the front. It does have some interesting trim choices. You get some really dark accent piano, or really reflective, I should say, sorry, that reflects. So I haven't had an issue with it, but these reflective surfaces can get annoying sometimes. And same with the hood. So I haven't had issues with this one, but maybe it has, maybe Chevy's gone through it enough that they figured out how to do it without making it reflect in your eyes. I know with some others, the 2017 GMC, the angle on the back of the hood scoop is perfect, that it will blind you fairly regularly. If you have the sun over, almost directly overhead or whatever, it reflects back right in your eyes. That one's been bothering me a bit, but on this one, I haven't noticed any reflections off of any of this stuff that bugs me. So, and it's kind of minimal. So a lot of the new vehicles, it's like, let's have a door that closes over this, and it's just super reflective black. And same, let's cover everything, so it's just this giant reflective black piece, and those reflect terribly. And like I said, this one I haven't noticed too much. And it's got this, plastic carbon fiber looking trim stuff around, little textures, yellow stitching on the doors and the dash, yellow stitching up there. Steering wheel is just normal gray stitching that matches the rest of it. Again, more reflective stuff there. All right, let's take a look in the back. Before we jump in, I think, I'm not 100% sure, I think this only has a 24-gallon fuel tank. With that big 6.2, when you're towing, I would prefer a little bit bigger, but that's not terrible. Here's a passenger rear side door. Not bad. It's got, I do like the textures and designs in it. There's a lot going on there, but I do like the design of it. And big rubber floor mats. Get that out of the way. We do have heated seats here for the rear outboard seats. Little pocket and lighting. And then on the seats, we have the seat storage. And here, cup holders with a center cubby. And then this whole seat will fold up. And there's quite a bit of room underneath. So that's too dark. Let me get a light out. So you can see you have a pretty large flat load floor there. And then you still have some storage space underneath the seats if you need to keep stuff in there, which that's actually a pretty good spot for, tools and stuff like that without taking up too much space. Let's go over the window sticker real quick. So this says 2022 Silverado 1500 4-wheel drive ZR2. I know it's cut off, but that's what that says. So the base price there, $65,100. And like I said, that's because it comes super well equipped. From just the base trim ZR2, you're getting a ton of extra stuff. Trailering package with hitch guidance, Oh, of course, all the off-road stuff, the 2-inch lift, the shocks, all that kind of stuff, 2-speed differential, blockers front and rear. I mean, all that kind of stuff's included. That screen, 13.4 inches, and then the 12.3 inch diagonal screen there as well. A couple big screens, interior, dual zone climate control with leather, front bucket, heated seat, center console, leather wrap steering wheel. All that kind of stuff is just standard. The corner steps on the bed, easy lift, power lock and release tailgate. All this stuff is just standard. And then the packages on this one are the technology package with the rear view camera mirror. So that's the camera there. And the head-up display, adaptive cruise control, and the power steering wheel. Tilt and slide, or whatever they call that steering wheel. Not tilt and slide, but tilt and telescope. And that's for $1970 for that. Hard tonneau cover is $1,100. Off-road high clearance steps, $1,095. Sunroof, $995. There's the multi-flex tailgate for $45, and the Glacier Blue Metallic, I love that, for $395. And it's only a $25 credit for the non-heated steering wheel, but like I said, they'll add that back in for free. It's almost just a way of putting it on here to make sure people know that they can come get it, because $72,770 total with the destination charge and all that. If you're saving 25 bucks, pretty sure you're not really worried about that $25. Fuel economy, 14 city, 17 highway, 15 combined. I'm about 16 combined, not too bad. And US Canadian parts, 42%, Mexico, 44%, and final assembly is in Mexico. Engine and trans from the US. All right, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything, so we'll go over some ZR2 highlights. 6.2 liter V8, 420 horsepower, 460 torque with 10-speed auto. It has the 40 millimeter, which is just under 2 inches. 2 inches is about 50 millimeters, so you're what, 1.8 inch diameter DSSV shocks that have different spool valves and the 3 different chambers and all that kind of stuff. And the suspension has been tuned to line up with the dampers and gives you more wheel travel compared to like the other off-roaders like the Trail Boss. Front and rear e-lockers, specific calibrations for the the 1-pedal driving mode and terrain mode, and then the 33-inch, so they are 33s, my guess of 32.5, might be off a little bit. Anyway, 33-inch tires, skid plates, and then the high approach front bumper. And it is a steel front bumper. I know I talked about it in the towing video, but anyway, that front bumper that's often plastic is steel, and of course all the other skid plates down under are steel. Approach angle 31.8 degrees, which is really quite good. So a lot of stuff on the ZR2 there. Crawl ratio still only 40:1. I think it's 40.8 that I calculated, so not a super low crawl ratio. This ZR2 is a great highway cruiser. This one obviously really well equipped, but it is quite smooth. You can feel the bumps a little bit from the rear suspension, rear axle, whatever, but it's nothing crazy. And it cruises along really nice, plenty of power, 10-speed shifts, super smooth, super quick, just on point with the 10-speed tuning. I love how well GM has done with that, and I love the new layout as well. So both the screen here, which I believe is like 12 inches or something, and then a 13-something inch screen over there. Now it's kind of facing towards the driver. The whole cabin feels much more driver oriented and a little bit more open and spacious than it did before. I don't know that they've changed the outside body width or anything, but it certainly feels just a lot better for the driver than the previous generation. I don't know about all this stuff still with the electronic shifter there in the middle. If you're going to an electronic shifter, I like the one on the stock out here on the steering wheel, or behind the steering wheel rather, or even the dial on the dash or something, just because of the space savings. So having it down here, it is a nice place to rest your hand until you accidentally throw it into neutral while you're driving. But really, it is like if you could have a 6-seat position, an extra seat right here, it's a better use of space, or getting rid of this and having storage and stuff right there. There's just, in my opinion, there's more efficient ways to do it. May not look as good, and a lot of people I know do like the actual shift lever, gives them a better feel. Anyway, it's a really good interior design in my opinion. I like it quite a bit. The exterior for me, it's not majorly different. There's definitely been some upgrades, lighting and front grills and bumpers and all that kind of stuff, and especially on the ZR2, it's got, you know, the kind of corner cutouts on the front bumper and all that. The ZR2 here, it gets like 14 city, 17 highway miles per gallon, and I've been getting around that actually. Let me pull up the information screen here. So I've been getting 15.5 combined, and that's over the last 10 miles, so it's not that far at all. Oh, wrong one, there we go. 15.8 combined over the last 42 miles. So, and of that, about 30's been freeway and 10's been city, and I've been driving maybe slightly more aggressive. If you're trying to hyper mileage it, you can definitely do better than what I'm getting for my combined average. And I hope the sun's not blowing this out, but you can see there the 15.8 right there for my combined average. And then if we include the 60 miles of trailer towing, we're down to 10.9 miles per gallon over the last 110 miles. All right, S-curves. Hopefully sun glare is not too bad. A little bit of lean, nothing crazy. And the tires certainly are not made for on-road grip. There's a little bit of sliding and stuff even at that little bit, or slower speed I should say. I mean, it's not bad. The Multimatic shocks do a good job of holding the truck level and flat, and overall not too bad. Okay, we're gonna do 0 to 60. Should be ready to go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Definitely a lot of wheel spin on the rear. 60. All right, let's take a look. .19. Thank you for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 ZR2. It's really a great truck overall if you're doing a little bit of off-roading and towing and just getting out in the rough spots. This thing will do it. It's nice having the front locker. I've talked to a lot of people that say, hey, I wish I could just get a front locker, and now you can in the 1500s. So pretty darn capable. Be sure to check out the off-road video. Does pretty well with towing. I don't use a weight distribution hitch or sway control, and there was a tiny bit of movement there, but with the off-road tuned suspension and larger knobbier tires, you'll get some of that stuff. So I don't have any issues towing with it, especially if I were to use a weight distribution. Be sure to check out that video. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.